let's now jump on to learning what is this equity all about, right? In stock market, this is one of the major instruments which all of us are going to be trading with, and I'm sure you may either be investing or trading in that. So what is this equity all about? That's what we will kind of learn here. So now, very simply put, very simply put, if you are an equity shareholder, you are the owner of that particular company. Again, if you are an equity shareholder, you are an owner of that particular company. As simple as that. Now, why is it called as equity? Because every share has a equal value. There is no two shares, one share having a different value, another share having a different value of a particular company. Every share has a equal face value. Either it is when they initially issue, maybe they issued at 10 rupees, 5 rupees, 1 rupees, whatever that is. So everything is equal in its face value. If you hold one share, you are the owner of that much. Similar to somebody else owning one share, that person also becomes the equal owner, based on the number of shares you are holding. So it's called as equity shares. So from an academic point of view, every company, when a company is formed, whether it's a private limited company or a public limited company, it has to have an equity share in it. So how much ever people come in, join, they bring in their capital, and that when they put it into the company, that is converted into shares and allotted, issued to every person who's kind of come in to form that company. So together, when they kind of put in that money, that becomes the shares of the company. So it is equally shared amongst all the investors. That's why it's called as equity shares. Right? Now, like I said, you become the owner of that particular company. Now, there are two kinds of equity, typically in stock markets, which we also see. One is the private equity and the public equity. Now, what is this private equity and public equity? It's pretty simple again. Now, a company which is closely held and you don't have the ability to trade in that company, where it is still not a public limited company which is listed in the stock exchange, they are termed as private limited company. Now, there will be many such private limited company which are closely held. They allow closely held participation. So for example, you have certain amount of money, and there is few public limited companies which are doing good in their business and they want more capital. So it is a private deal which happens where when you approach them or when they approach you, knowing that you're an investor, they may kind of tell them, this is what we're doing in our company, this is how it is going to grow and all of that stuff. And when you like that, you can put in your capital there in the form of equity shares. And you become the part owner based on how much ever shares you hold. And as a return, what you get is, as the company grows, when the valuation of the company grows up as well, your holding valuation also goes up. And after a few years of the company doing, every year you get the dividends and the profits which you can kind of enjoy. And after a few years, if the valuation of the company has grown up or gone up, you can kind of dispose of your holding and make that extra money. Whom do you dispose it off to? Like, there will again be some other few players, closely held players who would want to buy that, and you can kind of do that. So that's called as private equity. Now, public equity is those set of equity shares which are publicly traded in stock market, either in India, either in NSE or in BSE. There are lots of companies, which kind of trade. So which is kind of called as a free float, where every publicly traded company which is listed, they demark certain amount, certain quantity of shares which will be allowed for public to buy and sell. Not 100% of the equity will be allowed. Rather, there will be promoters' equity, there will be institutional investors, blah, blah, blah. All of that they will take. Then a small component, maybe 10%, 20%, whatever they decide, that will be allowed as free float in the market. which means anybody public can go buy and sell. So it's I am holding it, and if I want to sell it to somebody, I can kind of sell it. And if somebody else wants to buy it, and from third party, another party, it can keep on changing hands as many times as possible. Like that's called as the trading, right? So that is called as public equity. Now, how does all this equity start in public limited companies? It starts with IPOs, which we all have kind of heard about, initial public offer, where a company gets formed, it gets listed, and after having it kind of done its business for some years, and it is kind of proved its credential, it would like to get some more capital for its expansion. So then what they do is they issue a public offer, initial public offer, saying that we want X number of capital to expand our business, and for that reason we need so much money, and for that reason we're going to issue so many shares, each share of 10 rupees per value, whatever, either at a premium if the company is really doing good, and it gets issued to the public, and public kind of buy, and we kind of, as you buy, it gets allotted, and we become the owners. And once we become the owners and the shares are allotted to us, it becomes available in the stock exchange for trading. So you can get a initial public offer after few allotment, after very next day of allotment, and listed in the stock exchange. You can even get rid of that, or you can sell it off and get your money back. Either at the profit if it is doing good, or hold it for some more time and kind of get your profits. So that is how typically the equity shares are kind of issued. So all the companies which are listed in stock exchange by default will have equity shares which you can trade in. So it is traded both in NSE and BSE in India, which is the most popular stock exchanges. Of course, there are many other stock exchanges. Every state has a stock exchange, but NSE and BSE is the biggest two, and NSE has the highest volume as well. So let us kind of understand a few more things here, right? Now, when a lot of buying and selling will happen on these stocks, right? Given that, it is kind of going to be good to kind of understand slightly more about how many such stocks are there, how many such quantity kind of gets done. So let's kind of understand. So as of April 2021, NSE had 1,968 companies which were listed, in which you could kind of trade. That's what the listed companies. Whether all of them are traded every day, it's a question mark. Not everybody. Every company gets traded. Every company share gets traded every day. Few of them have high volumes. Few of them do not have much. Then in BSE, around close to 5,000 shares are listed in BSE. A lot of companies are listed in BSE, so which also kind of you can kind of trade in. And now I want to kind of share few volume, how the volumes are kind of looking. When I say volume, how much quantity of trading happens in NSE and BSE, right? If you kind of note here, let me kind of show you where is okay, I'm kind of trying to pointer. Okay, so now if you see, as of July 2021, there were 21 days trading days, and 2,619 securities overall, including all of that, including equity, was traded. And what is important is look at the turnover of trades which happened in terms of rupees. It's like 13,15,716 crore rupees. That is the kind of trading which happens in NSE. So in just 1 month, that is the value. Whole of, you see, and then as you go below, you have yearly numbers as well, right? It runs into lakhs and lakhs of crores. Lakhs and lakhs of crores is what it kind of gets traded, and the market capitalization also is kind of given here. And here you could see, as of April, it was 1,968 shares in companies were listed, and it keeps kind of varying slightly. It typically keeps on increasing. They don't have the number published for June, July, and May. Maybe after the quarter is over, they may kind of publish. So this is what is the volume. So we know, as retailers, we are a small speck in the entire big ocean. We are lesser than a drop. Based on the quantity what we trade in. So that's big. The market is. I just want you to get a perspective of the market. So, which means the opportunity which is available is humongous, unbelievable. So that's the way you have to look at it as a business owner, right? Now, so this is what equity is all about, and that's how you kind of approach the market. And how are equity listed? How are equity kind of listed? Let me kind of show a few examples of some of the scripts. Generally, I'll just kind of type in the screen. If you kind of see, I'll just open one of our trading platforms. So say some of the top stocks which are part of Nifty 50, like for example Reliance. So if you just simply type on Reliance, I get Reliance Industries, which is both in NSE as well as Reliance Industry, which in BSE. And say I added both of them. See here, you can see Reliance Industry, NSE and BSE. And if you see, as of today, when the market is going on, it is kind of getting traded at 2088.4 in NSE and 2088.05 in BSE, around 35 paisa difference. That's all. Today it is kind of done 0.5% increase. It is kind of gone up. So NSE. So now like I'll kind of take few more HDFC. Okay, HDFC Bank. Again you have NSE. And you have BSE, both of them kind of listed. See again here, today also HDFC Bank also is kind of going up today. It's 1507.65, 1.07.45, right? So this is how each of these stocks which are traded have a code. Like for example, Reliance Industries has Reliance as the code. HDFC Bank has the HDFC Bank as the code. So that way, you have various stocks. You have kind of added quite a lot of stocks here, right? And some more stocks here, you have tons and tons of stocks that way, which you can kind of look at. Everything gets listed. And if you simply kind of type A, all the stocks appearing from A simply comes up here, right? So you can see all of them, both NSE and BSE, wherever, if you just kind of type one of them, say for example ACC, it's a cement company, ACC, you get both NSE and BSE. You just add it to your market watch, and you can kind of do it. So this is called as the equity script. This is one of the scripts which you will trade extensively, especially for investors that are kind of interested in this. This is what you will kind of do. So this is what it was about equity. If you kind of got this equity so far and understood how to kind of pull it up from the market watch, type in the comment got equity. I'll come back in the next video and we'll talk about ETFs. See you in the next video.